That was your childhood room? Up
Tweety.
until what age?
7.
27.
37.
And then it went to One Direction.
No,
and...
Tweety has my heart.
Oh, till now.
Tweety has my heart
okay.
until now. I still have the teddy bear.
You're waiting for the movie designed to Tweety and you only? Since now they're doing Garfield and they're doing Million Alf.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
You
Tweety.
should sign up for actors.
I'm the main. I
You're the main
am
character.
Tweety. I am Tweety. Hi besties and welcome back to another episode of Luni Tunes! Guys, joining me today is literally like where do I even begin? Like seriously, where do I begin? My best friend, my roommate, my sister, my everything, Sarah.
Hey guys.
Sarah, welcome to Luni Tunes.
Thank you for having me finally on the podcast as her, sixth guest?
She was literally supposed to be like one of the first, but like
Sixth guest,
she
guys.
was being weird, so I was like, let her
Oh
be
my god. I'm actually so excited to be here.
Yeah.
We have so much
We
to
have
talk
so
about.
much to talk about.
Unbelievable.
Also, guys, Sarah is the only guest, actually one of the only guests that's gonna be reoccurring on this podcast a lot. So right now she's here as a guest, but later she's gonna be co-host.
Can't get rid
So
of me.
get familiar with Sarah.
Hey guys. Can't get rid of me.
Literally, you can't get rid of her. Even in real life, no one
Yeah,
can
by
get
the
rid
way.
of you in my life. Like
By the
all
way.
the guys, all the friends.
Everyone, literally everyone, whoever entered our lives, like we've been in so many different friend groups, but it was always the two of us that came out of that specific friend group. Like
Literally.
no matter who we were with.
And
my
we're gonna
God.
get more into that and why later. But first, introduce yourself.
Okay, guys. So like she said, I'm Sarah. I studied in AUS with Luna. We actually met freshman year. I'm Palestinian. Pre-Palestine. Ironically, American as well. But yeah, I'm a social media manager now, and I studied MCM with Luna, Mass Communications, and yeah, it's been a ride, but it's been so much fun.
Yeah, so Sarah and me basically are like the same person in different fonts. Like she said, we went to the same university, we studied the same major, and this is actually how we met.
Yeah, oh my god, how we met was so funny.
Oh my god, start, you go.
Guys, so we were in the administration hall, the reception hall, where we had to sign up and everything because it was orientation week, and it was the first week we were
the freshman losers that actually attended orientation.
Oh my god, we have to come back to this because you don't understand the prank that was on Luna and she fell for it, so we have to come back to this. Anyways, so we were there, and then she was standing in front of me, and she was all like glammed up and everything, you know, like she full like makeup, pink, everything. She was all glammed up, and everyone else looked like absolute like crap. Like we all just looked like we wanted to die. And she was just standing there, and I was looking at her, and then she looked at me, and then I looked at her, and then we just gave each other look ever, which was so funny because I didn't know her, she didn't know who I was either. And then later on, I saw you were with one of our friends, Maria, and initially I
Shout out Maria.
Initially, I had met Maria when I was living in Al Ain. Yes.
Yikes. That alone is trauma.
I was living in Al Ain for 10 years, might I add. Anyways. So I knew Maria from then, and then I saw her, and I didn't know she was going to this university, so I was so surprised. And Luna was with her, so that's when she introduced us. That's when we found out we were in the same major. And then the next day, we literally went out to breakfast, and ever since then.
Guys, the next day we became best friends. Yeah. Literally, I wish I was joking. The next day we became best friends.
The next day, we literally knew every single thing about
each other, and I don't know why.
But then throughout the first semester of university, we were in two completely different friend groups.
True.
Yeah.
We were in two different friend groups, but we had one group in common.
Yeah. The girls group.
The girls group. The girls group.
We were like 7 girls. We are the only ones that still speak. Like, we are the only ones that still speak.
Literally.
As it should be.
No, but we still talk to Maria.
Yeah, we still talk to Maria. Who else was... Oh, and Aya.
Yeah. But yeah, so my point of view of when I saw her was actually, I was like, why is this staring at me? Like, I'm looking and I just see this girl like staring at me, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with her? And then I was with Maria, and then I see Maria like wave at her, and I looked at Maria, I'm like, you know her? Like, why is she giving me looks?
The that was staring at me?
Literally. And then she went to say hi, and then that's when like I knew who Sarah was. The next day we went to breakfast, and to me, guys, you know that post on Instagram that's like two like skeleton thingies, whatever, and then there's like
I think it's like a quote or something.
it's a quote,
Yeah.
and it's like when you first talk to someone and it's just like an electric connection,
Yeah.
like immediate way I can describe it is you get a plug, like your phone plug, you plug it to the wall, your phone is charging, like you were the charger to my phone
100%.
instantly.
And you know what the funny thing is that if I didn't go to AUS, me and her actually applied to the same university in Canada, Concordia. We actually applied to Concordia as well.
And got accepted.
And that was initially our second choice. So either way, whichever university we would have chosen, we would have met.
Literally,
Because
it's like
we also applied to the same major over there. So it was
we were
insane.
destined to
Yeah.
meet. Like one way or another, we were gonna meet. She was meant to be in my life. Like Sarah, I think, is one of the very, very few people in my life that I think, yes, you are supposed to be in it.
100%.
Like, and you're not allowed to leave.
I think we know too much of each other.
You know too much. So yeah, and then like literally, it didn't take us long, like I said, to become really close. And obviously, like in the beginning, we had two different groups,
Yeah.
but the middle one.
I hated her friend group. Oh,
She hated my friend group,
God.
but I hated hers. Oh my God.
But no, guys, like I'm not even kidding. Her friend group was a disaster.
I agree.
I don't care if they
I
fucking
agree.
listen to this. It was a
No, they're gonna listen to it.
disaster.
I agree.
Like a disaster, and I just didn't want to be involved in that. And neither she didn't want to be involved in my friend group either.
I
And
thought your friend group was two-faced.
too
honestly.
Arab.
Not just that, I felt like your friend group was more like, I care about what people think of me more than I have any type
I
of,
feel like all of them definitely were like that freshman
Yeah.
year, and then everyone just went their own path since then. Because after that initial first year, none of us were friends with the same people we came into uni with.
Yeah, 100%.
None of us. Like we all had and also it was Corona وقتها. So that's when me and Luna hit like our peak. That's when we
Literally.
hit our peak, because throughout uni we were like we would see each other everything. We would only see each other if we were together. Like if it was just me and her and like two other girls.
That shall not be named.
Woo! But yeah, but when Corona hit, she was in Abu Dhabi and she was in a house alone.
Guys, basically my grandparents have a house in Abu Dhabi that they do not like live in. It's like basically a summer house. So when Corona hit, I didn't want to live with my parents. So I just moved into my grandparents' place by myself. So when Corona hit, we were forced out of campus for like a year. And I was so used to I was used to seeing Sarah a lot, but not every day. Because like I said, we weren't in the same friend group. So I don't know, we started talking even more in Corona, like almost every single day. She knew everything I was doing. And then I was like, wait, why don't you move in with me?
And that I did.
And then she did.
I packed my shit and I literally went that weekend, and we spent like all of Corona together. And that's when I met the rest of the girls, Muna, Razan, Riba, all of them. And then and then till now.
And then until now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Corona is when like we were close friends before, and then Corona were like best friends. Khalas. Best friends, roommates. I introduced her to like my family friends, my Abu Dhabi friend group. And we had everyone had the worst summer 2020 because of COVID.
It was literally the best summer of our lives.
We had the best summer.
No, the best summer ever. Play One Direction, best summer ever. That's exactly what it was.
No,
The
literally.
thing is, it was all so cheap
It
because
was so
no
cheap
one
because
was
it was
going.
COVID,
Oh my god!
literally.
I remember we booked Bab al Qasr for like 150 dirhams. That was
It was
insane.
so
No, that
cheap.
was insane.
And that summer, we wilded. That summer is when we truly discovered that we're the same person. Like, honestly.
100%.
Like, that summer, I was like, yeah, like, she's not going anywhere. For sure, she's
100%. And literally the semester after that for university is when we became roommates. Like, after that summer, we were like, yeah, okay.
Because we're like, we already moved in with each other throughout COVID. We already are so used to each other. Might as well get into dorms together.
Yeah, 100%.
And we did. And then after that,
After dorms, we got an apartment.
we got an apartment in Dubai because it was our last year
Yeah.
in university. So we're like, we don't want like the curfew of the dorm
Yeah,
gives
especially
us.
the last year, the rules became so annoying. Oh my
strict.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, we had to get out of there. And honestly, it was like a 20-minute drive from uni to and
Yeah,
fro.
it wasn't that bad.
And because we're girls, we didn't count the 7 minutes that when you enter university city to reach university, we didn't even count that. We said, yeah, this doesn't count. So initially to us, it was like 14 minutes away.
Literally. It was so close.
Yeah.
And we used to be late all the time, but okay.
All the time. Guys, no, you don't understand. I'd be in my room and our walls like are thick, but Luna's alarms are louder. I'd be in my room, it's 6 a.m. She has a fucking class at 8 in the morning. She has an alarm at 6, 6:02, 6:03, 6:04, 6:05, 6:06, 6:07, 6. From 6 a.m. My class is at 12.
That's the only way I wake up. And still, I don't
She
wake
doesn't
up.
wake up. Like, unless I start screaming, Luna, turn off your alarm.
Like, she wakes up, she comes with her blanket, she bangs on my door, opens the door, get up!
And then I go back to sleep.
And then she goes back to sleep, and I still don't get up. I tell her, fuck it, khalas, I won't go to class.
After all of these alarms, imagine. No, and then she wants to be like, okay, I'll just sleep for like an hour or two. So then she puts another alarm for like 9 in the morning. And this cycle goes on and on and on. This was all of us living together.
Literally.
No, Habibti, but who's worse than you is Muna. With the alarms. I will never
True.
forget that one time I had to go and wake her up. Bro, I knocked so hard that the girl beside her came out and started yelling at me in the room beside her.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I remember that.
And then you were
We
waiting
had to go
outside
to a
in the
photo
car. Yeah,
shoot.
you were waiting outside in the car and I was just banging on her door.
That was so funny.
Never waking her up again.
Let's talk about how we transitioned from best friends to roommates and whether that was different or the same and how did it affect our friendship
Honestly,
from your point of view.
I feel like a lot of people thought, like you said, that it would
Affect our
friendship, you know, but sure as hell proved them wrong. But anyways, I think why it worked out with us is because initially when we decided to live together is when we had a talk. We sat down and said, listen, we know like we're gonna be seeing each other on a day-to-day basis. We're gonna be doing some things that annoy the both of us, but we just need to remember that there's a level of boundary and there's everything. You know, we established that before
boundaries.
moving in together. You know,
100%.
so it worked so well with us. We honestly never had a fight about the house. Never.
Never.
And after that, we traveled together and everything. Like, everything was smooth sailing with the house. We never had an issue with that. Us living together, honestly, just elevated our friendship to a whole other level. Especially because our parents, like, khalas, they reached a point where if Sarah and Luna are together, then khalas, they're
Then
safe.
everything's
you know,
fine.
then
Yeah.
everything is fine. You know, because they trusted that we're both going to be there for each other no matter what happens. And that's exactly what it is.
One thing you need to know about us is that we're way more mature than our age. So in summer in COVID, when she lived with me in Abu Dhabi, it was like fun, whatever, and it was temporary. But then, and like in the dorms, like it's dorms.
Yeah.
But when we had that talk is when we actually moved to our actual house. Like it was me and Sarah's house. Like there was contract, everything,
Yeah.
money involved. So from the beginning, we said, okay, I know we're used to each other and like this should be nothing and it will be nothing. But right now it's a bit more serious because there's a lease, there's all these like
100%.
adulty things, you know, that we had no idea
Yeah.
about. So we had like, and it was like no problem. Like people would think having these conversations are awkward, especially at that age, like you're in university, like whatever.
But relax.
It was not awkward at all because obviously we're so close. We literally sat down and we said everything that we like, everything that we don't like, who's gonna be responsible for what, who's
Yeah.
gonna do what in the house. Like it reached the point where I literally like the conversation reached where I was like, okay, Sarah, I won't do the dishes, but I will scrub the toilet.
Would love to say that we didn't do any of
We
that.
didn't do either. We got a maid.
Like to come like every single week and clean the house, because It was trash.
Oh my god. Guys, imagine like out of your friend group, you guys are the only ones that have a house and you're living alone. Obviously, our house was the it spot.
100. Oh, there was at least like 8 girls sleeping there on a weekly basis.
And it was a 2-bedroom apartment, so it was just my bed and hers. We would sleep like literally sardines on the bed.
You don't understand. One time I walked into her room and there was like 4 people sleeping right next to each other on the bed, and I was like, what the This is a fucking motel now. Like,
Sardines.
We should start charging these
Literally. No, and like our house would be like the house, and people would use our house for everything. Like, hey, can I like come chill at your house for a bit before I go out? We were just so comfortable with each other that we were able to have conversations
100%.
like this, you know?
We reached a sibling relationship when we
100.
became roommates, you know?
Yeah.
Like there was no, oh, like I'm too shy to ask her. Oh, what if she says no? There was none of that. There was like
none of that.
There was like, I'm gonna ask her, like, if she doesn't like it, too bad. Like, there was all of that, which is exactly what you want out of a roommate, honestly. Like, you want a person that's direct and someone that can respect your boundaries, because otherwise it's just gonna be hell on earth. And it needs to be a 2-person relationship. It can't just be like one person. It doesn't work like that.
Exactly. Like a lot of times, for example, I'm not gonna lie, we were lazy.
Yeah.
Like we were lazy as fuck. So a lot of times, like, okay, when like I would have these moments where I'm fed up, so I'd start cleaning, Sarah would come in, she'd see me, and then she'd join. Like I don't even have to ask her, she doesn't even have to ask me, like khalas, because we reached a point where we're like, I know you so well, like I know what you want, I know what you don't want, I know what you like, I know what you don't like. Khalas, like genuinely guys, it reached in 4 years we became sisters.
Yeah.
And our parents were also very like they had very good communication
100%.
between them, because that was so important to us. If our dads didn't have good communication, we wouldn't have been able to reach where we are.
Exactly.
So thank God, like both my dad and hers come from like an ajnabi background, so they were on the same page, we were on the same page, everyone was on the same page.
But it worked out so well for us.
It worked out so well, and we had so
it
much
was the best.
fun.
Honestly, even though like during our last year in uni, like we went through some really, really things, but overall, like the house where everyone was and people would come hang out and everything, it was honestly like the best. Like we were just always surrounded by people. We had each other. It was such good vibes. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And
like also like no matter, not gonna lie, the last year was very hard on her and on me. Like we were both going through it, like academic wise, like really through it, and also other factors in our lives. Like we were changing friend groups, we were fighting with people, we lost one of our closest friends together. So like we were going through it, but what made me like sleep at night genuinely was that I'm with Sarah. You know, like at least I have Sarah, at least Sarah's there. Like if I had a shitty day at university, I'm coming back home to Sarah, and Sarah's gonna be there. She's gonna see me, and it's gonna be fine.
No, literally. And the thing is, like, none of us are such big talkers when we come back from university. You know, like all we want to do is just sit down.
Into the room, we nap.
Yeah, like literally. Or even if we're both sitting in the living room, we stay in silent. But that's what was so amazing. Like even though we didn't want to talk, we didn't want to hear anyone's fucking voice, we just wanted to be in each other's presence. Like khalas.
Like we would sit together in silence. We didn't have to speak. We knew, like, as soon as I walk from the door, or as soon as she walks from the door, I can just tell exactly what kind of day she has.
Yeah.
And okay, like we're gonna go about it. How?
And I feel like the one thing, like if like some time has passed and we were both silent, the one thing that can break the silence is,
do you want to eat?
Do you want to eat?
Do you want to eat?
Oh my God, the weight we gained that 1 year. Holy
Guys,
shit.
people usually gain weight in freshman year, like freshman 15. No, honey, it was senior 15 for us. I gained 15 kilos my last year.
Bro, me too. It was insane. It was insanity. Like, because we were going through it, and literally the one thing and everything would deliver to us.
Yeah, everything would deliver to our
everything
house.
would deliver to us, and everything was just so appetizing. And we
were
foodies.
We're foodies, and we're emotional eaters. I realized that, like really emotional 100%. Eaters. If we're having a bad day, nothing would have made us feel better than, like, before the boycott, of course, but a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Oh my God, Grand Chicken Classic,
Grand
with extra
chicken
cheese. Holy shit.
Sweet and sour sauce, like
big tasty sauce. Oh my God.
As we get that, the day is better.
Yeah, 100%.
Everything.
But you know what, McDonald's?
Okay, since we're in the roommate era,
Yeah.
let's play a game. We are entering our gaming segment right now, and today's game we're gonna play Never Have I Ever Roommate Edition.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to start.
We had a lot of people in the house, so no one's gonna know who this is about.
Okay.
Never have I ever invited someone to the house that I know you didn't like.
You? Like you invited someone to the house that I didn't like?
No, you invited someone to the house that I
That
didn't
you
like.
didn't like. Oh, I have. I have. Definitely have. And
Okay.
you didn't even know that
Oh my god.
that I did.
But I suspected it.
Wait, who do you think?
No, in general, like I suspect because whenever I'd go, because you were friends with them, so whenever
Yeah.
I'd go, like when I travel or something, I'd be like, bro, 100% she's gonna bring them.
Never have I ever got a pet to the house while my roommate was out of the country.
But I didn't have a choice.
You did. And that choice was no. Like, no.
My God. To be honest, I hated the litter in my room. Holy.
Guys, she literally, like, one of our friends moved in to, like, not moved in, but like
Like
stayed for a
sleepover,
long
yeah.
time while I was on vacation in Thailand. And how did I find out that there was a cat? That was before Taffy, before everything.
Yeah.
Like we got the house, we opened the key, I traveled.
Yeah.
And then she stayed. So she got our friends, and then I opened Snapchat in the airport on my way back. And they're supposed to be the ones picking me up from the airport. And I was so
Which I
excited.
was.
I was so excited because I'm going to have a sleepover with my girls as soon as I come back from
Yeah.
my travel. I open Snapchat and I see a cat. That is not Taffy. That is not Snowy. That is not Caramel. I don't know who the hell this cat is. And no one told, like, she didn't
But
tell me
to-
that there was a cat in the house.
Because to be fair, I had informed her, ask Luna. I said, I have no problem with it, ask Luna. She said, okay. So then when she got it, I just assumed, okay, she asked Luna.
So I fucking see a snap of a cat on my bed. And I'm like, who the is this cat? I text Sarah. I'm like, tell me why the is there a cat
But then
in
I
our
told
house?
you, I was like, she didn't ask you? Because I didn't know she didn't ask her. I was like, because whenever we initially told them, oh, like ask the other person, they would ask. So I just assumed, okay, yeah, she asked
No,
her.
but you think you're slick because she put the litter box in her bathroom.
I didn't. She did. I told her to put it in the guest room. In the guest bathroom. Because no one used it.
We
didn't
Staffy
want-
was
yeah.
coming. Like, he would have fought with that cat.
Yeah, yeah.
And that cat was like a stray
Street cat.
street cat, like a kitten.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I was like, oh my god, the fleas, the like
The ear mites, everything, yeah.
the diseases. Like, I'm gonna come to a home of diseases. So yeah, that was like.
Unfortunately.
So since we're in like the confession and letting out things vibe, I think I don't usually do them after each other, but I think
Okay.
it is the appropriate time for
Oh, the talking lemon.
a talking lemon.
Period.
So when you're holding this lemon, you have to answer truthfully.
Okay.
Nothing but the truth.
Okay.
Nothing. So the question of talking lemon today is, what is something you have thought of? It can be a thought or something that you did that you've never told me as a best friend and as a roommate.
Yeah.
So you have to give me two different answers
Okay.
that I have no idea about. Like, no idea.
Okay. The thing is, I feel like it's the same answer for both, but in different ways, you know? And I never told you this because I don't know, I didn't want to speak it into action, you know? Like, I'm a firm believer if I think something and say it out loud, it happens.
Law of attraction.
Yeah. So I didn't want to attract it. But when we initially planned our trip to London together, we traveled, went, everything was fine. But initially when we were doing that and I was hearing so many people have a say in it, like saying that, oh, like, are you afraid something's going to happen? You guys never traveled together and I don't know what. that actually really got to me. Like, that was before we traveled. Like, I was just like, oh my God, like, no, like, this can't happen. Like, people are saying all of these things. What if it does happen? Like, I was freaking fuck out,
Oh my God.
you know?
I did not freak out.
I was freaked out because I was like, no, no, like, what do you mean, like, this happens? Because guys, like, TikTok really is, it messes with your fucking head. I was watching, suddenly all my For You page were people traveling with their best friend and then them coming back not being friends anymore. And I was like, what the is this? You know, because every single video that came up was like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, 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 no. So it kept going on in my head, you know, until we were in London. And then until when we reached the last day, I was like, this would never happen to me and Luna. Like, Sarah, you're delusional. Like, shut up.
It couldn't.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Like,
I had no idea
I was
you
so
thought
scared.
that.
Yeah, I was so scared.
Oh my God. I was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like, I would rather travel with her than anyone else, because if I travel with anyone else, I know we might come back as not friends. Like, there is that probability. But with Sarah, I never thought that, because, bro, we were
lived
roommates
together. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we lived together.
That's why I thought it was so stupid that I was thinking that. But then, like, the roommate side of me was like, what do you mean? Like, okay, so what if we're gonna be in each other's faces for a week straight? We live together, you know. But the best friend side of me was like, oh my God, like, what if I don't come back with my best friend? Like, what's gonna happen? You know, like, that was like two different sides. You know, the roommate side of me was fine because I was like, we already know everything about each other, you know. But the best friend side was like, what's gonna happen there? Because she would be my go-to person to travel with, but at that point we had never traveled together, you know, so we don't know each other outside of the UAE.
Of the country.
Yeah, exactly, you know, so that's what was freaking me out. But then we came back and everything, and
we came back even better, because the side we had in London was my favorite side of our friendship, because in London obviously we're way more free than here, so like we had fun. I'm not gonna elaborate, but we had
shout
a
out
fucking
Hyde
blast.
Park.
But oh my God, you know, I low-key had like a little bit of suspicion. I was like, just in case I'm gonna say this. So before I traveled, I remember what I told you. I was like, Sarah, I'm telling you from now, I'm an airport dad. I do this. Like, I told her how I am when I travel, so she doesn't get shocked.
Yeah.
So I already mentally prepared her.
I gave her everything from that. I was like, okay, take care. Like, okay, you do you.
Guys, I'm such an airport travel dad. Like, give me your passports. We need to be there on time. We need to be there 5 hours early.
Which is perfect for me. Like,
yeah, she had to.
I just go along. Like,
literally.
Honestly, like, I just went along. I was like, okay, you do you. Like, I'll just follow.
You know that TikTok, the one that plans the trip and the one that transfers the money?
She plans the trip and I just transfer the money.
Literally.
Oh, which is exactly what happened, by the way.
Exactly.
Like, when we booked the hotel and everything,
you transferred the money.
I literally just transferred the money. Even with, we went and saw The Weeknd in London. Yes, we planned our trip around
Guys,
it.
we booked the weekend tickets while she was dying in the hospital.
Guys, listen, the last year was rough. Okay, but no, you don't understand. We booked our weekend tickets before we booked our flight tickets.
Literally, like, we were going for the weekend.
Yeah.
We weren't going for
We
London.
secured those before anything else. We needed to make sure we had somewhere to go on that day for the weekend. It was that, or
and we kept like refreshing it. And then when we were at the hospital, she was dying.
I was dying.
And then I was like, shit, Sarah. Like, I was refreshing as usual. I was like, shit, Sarah, the tickets are sold out. And then I started freaking the fuck out. I talked to one of my acquaintances, let's say, in London. I was like, yo, listen, like, this is happening. I need these tickets. Like, I'm not going without these tickets. Like, we're not. Like, we were actually at a point where we're like, if we don't get to go to the weekend, we're just not going to London.
Yeah.
We'll go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, and then she told me about this app, like third-party sellers and I don't know what. And while she was laying on the hospital bed, and
we booked it from my phone. Like,
we booked it from her. I was on 1%.
I was lying on the hospital bed and I was scrolling
with
through
like a mask on her face. Cha-ching! We got the weekend ticket.
I swear to God, like, it was so. I don't even remember it.
No, there's a video of,
like, I was dying. I was dying.
I
just needed to breathe. No, but then everything, like, as soon as we booked the weekend ticket is when our entire plan started falling into place. The week after that, we booked our London tickets, we booked the hotel, everything. And then 2 weeks later, we were out.
It was so fun.
It was so
one
nice.
of the best trips of my life, for real.
Honestly.
Like, that trip made me want to move to London. Like, I fell in love with London.
100%. London is always the go-to country that I would the go-to country I would go to. No, the country I would go to if I didn't know where else to go.
Yeah,
You know, like I would be
100%.
like, you know what? Why don't I just go to London for a week?
Yeah,
It's so worth it.
100%. We recommend.
Yeah, guys, I studied at boarding school in the UK for a semester in grade 9. Best experience of my life. Like, it was in Bath, but we went to London. We went to like a lot of.
You know what baffles me is that she went like we were in the same school, like same school branch, but different branches.
Yeah.
She was Line, I was Abu Dhabi.
شو فات؟
So what baffles me is that she willingly went to the boarding school, but I was threatened to go to the boarding school because I was being a bad child.
It was literally the best decision. It was so much fun. It's so different there. It's really, and you know what sucks is that because when I went there, we weren't really in like the phone taking pictures era and shit like that.
So you genuinely like lived through the experience.
I had like iPhone 4 or 5. Like, what the hell was I gonna do with that? You know, couldn't really do much. And they take your phone at night. I mean, I had 2 phones, so they took the one that doesn't work. But
Oh, bad Sarah.
guys, London, UK was different. But no, it was honestly really, really nice. I wanted to extend, but my parents were like,
Come back.
yeah, my grades weren't doing it.
Yeah, no, I was terrified of that place. Like that was a threat. Like
It was so nice.
if you don't do well this year, we are sending you to the UK. No.
You should have failed. You should have failed.
I was terrified
So
back
much
then.
easier there.
Really?
Yeah, and you don't get the same amount of exams. They don't have homework exams over there.
Just AMS?
Just AMS. And you don't have AMS Arabi and like those ones. You just have English and math.
Oh.
It was fire. Even though we had like 10 exams a week. It was fire.
10 exams a week.
We had 22 in
Our
usually.
school is nothing. Like it's fire in a bad way.
Yeah, 100.
100%.
I feel like if anyone ever came and spoke to me about Shwefat, I would look them in the eye and just
We're
tell
gonna
them to
talk
fuck
about this in
themselves.
another episode, by the way. Shweifat. If you know this name, if you've heard this name, if you've been through this name, I feel so sorry
Yeah.
for you. Like genuinely, I feel you.
Worst school experience of my life.
Literally, it was military. It wasn't even.
It was
school.
literally military. It was unbelievable.
2 hours after school detention for no book. Excuse me. Excuse me.
The fact that it just finished at 4. Like everyone else finished school at like 2 p.m. and we were just there till 4.
Till 4, and if you had after school detention, you
Till-
wouldn't be home till 8 p.m. And then you have 2 exams the next day. طب. And what's the detention for? No book.
This was before
No
AI,
book.
guys. Imagine. This was before AI where we could actually do
Yeah.
our work quickly.
Oh my god, the kids nowadays are way luckier than we were.
Oh my god, you know that now in Shefat, like I think grade 1s have AMS? Yeah.
They should shut the school down, honestly. Like, Adik, shut it down. Like, shut
المشكلة
it
إنه
down.
Adik always rates them as C.
Yeah, they don't get very good ratings.
So,
Anyways, we are shifting.
yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about how many friend groups we were in, because we've never actually sat and counted them. Obviously, we were the only survivors from every single friend group.
R.I.P.
Literally RIP. So I've never counted them. Do you know how many were?
We had a lot
Oh my
of
god, we had a
groups.
lot of friend groups.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Holy
friend-
And guys, each one of them were different from the
Yeah.
other. Like,
Completely different vibes.
yeah, especially the summer one, 2020.
Oh my god.
Those, because that was like, we had so many groups in one summer. Like, I still had my group separate from you. Remember the girls you don't
Yeah.
like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, we were friends with all these people at the same time, and we'd hang out with them at separate times,
Yeah.
but at the same time almost every day. And with it, like, I'm not calling us two-faced or like multiple personalities, but like,
we would fit to the vibe that the group
we
was
would just
in, you know?
blend in with whoever's vibe
Yeah.
we're vibing with, you
Yeah.
know?
We just knew how to be within the atmosphere of the rest of the people.
Yeah,
like we would always
exactly.
match their energy.
And whenever someone would fight with one of us in the group, me and Sarah were out.
Yeah, 100%.
Peace out. Like, we did not think twice about it. Like, if anyone messed with Sarah, you're out. If anyone messed with me, you're out,
yeah.
out. Like, cutting people off for us was so
Easy peasy.
easy. The
Yeah.
first time we properly cut someone, it was not the easiest.
Was it what I'm thinking of? Was it my birthday? Yeah.
So we cut someone very close to you and
Yeah.
someone very close to me. There were two girls. That was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was the most traumatizing. And then after that, throughout the other 10 friend groups, we're like, bye, 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 bye,
Because
bye,
yeah,
bye.
because خلاص, you reach a point where you can't handle disrespect anymore. Like
Anymore.
if you get disrespected and clearly see that the person in front of you doesn't give then okay,
And
خلاص.
what made us so strong about it is because the first two were very strong relationships that we
Yeah.
cut. So we're like, if we were able to cut those people out of our lives, we can cut anyone. Like, it's no
100%.
big deal.
100.
And we did. And honestly, I don't regret
Yeah,
any
me
of it.
neither. Me neither. Because honestly, I don't think they would have added to our lives in any way, shape, or form right now.
No, 100%.
Like I feel like we're exactly where we need to be, and they would just have
pulled
held
us back.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Especially the ones we thought were closest to us.
Yeah.
ما بيشبهونا anymore. They
At
just
all.
don't. Like, where they are in their life right now, which I wish them all the best.
Yeah,
Good for
100%.
you. But I would not want to be there. Like, I feel like I'm doing so much better. And that's not to, like, just, يعني, جكارة.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not to
doing
be
so much better.
disrespectful. It's just what it is.
It's just like, yeah, I
Yeah.
genuinely feel like everything that happened the way that it was supposed to, even though it was
100%.
sad, even though it was traumatic, even though it was really, really hard. But I would not take any of it back. I
Yeah.
think the only thing I would take back is like how we went about it, like
Yeah, 100%.
the ways that we did were not the best ways. They were vengeful, they were full of hatred, they were full of disrespect, which ما بيشبهنا هلا
At all.
at all. It's not who we are
Yeah.
anymore. And that's the one thing I regret. Like, I wish we handled it in a more mature way.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your values don't resonate with mine anymore. We can't be friends anymore. And just ended it at that. But no, we...
We went full force.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we went full
Thunderstorm.
force. Because you know why? Like,
Because of... honestly, it's because of how much we loved them, though.
yeah.
Like...
Listen, I 100% like what we did. They are out of our lives, and honestly, like one way or another, they were gonna be out of our lives.
100%.
Because this is what was written for it to happen. This was when the friendship was supposed to end. Khalas, like God has it written for us. Okay, that's fine. It's just that, like, that's what made me feel better about it. You know,
Yeah.
that one way or another, I was not written to fulfill my friendship with this person. Khalas, you know. But it's literally just how we went about it. You know, I feel like we were just in a stage in our life where everything else was affecting our choices.
100%.
And we were just really petty. We were mad at the world, mad at everyone around us. And we just took that opportunity to take it out on them.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't believe that they could do that to us.
Exactly. And because of, I feel like how as much love as we had for them, that love, like full love, quickly turned
Yeah.
into full hatred.
That's why
So-
they say there's a thin line between love and hate.
Love and hate. We like genuinely, like I saw red.
Yeah.
I saw red. I was like, I'm gonna fuck your life up. I don't give a fuck about anything we went through. I don't give, like, I'm literally gonna fuck you
Yeah.
up. You're gonna see. I'm gonna make you cry. And I did. And I regret that. And I know he or she shall not be named is listening to this. But if you are, I apologize. We both apologize for the way it went. However, I don't think us not being friends is the wrong is a mistake.
I don't think
us not being friends is exactly what was supposed to happen.
100%.
But maybe we shouldn't have seen red.
Yeah, but it's 100% what was supposed to happen, because like I feel like they just knew a different part of who we are,
Yeah.
and we just grew out of that.
We grew
and
out
khalas,
of
they know that version of us. There's no need for them to know this version.
Exactly. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they grew out of their
Yeah.
I mean, it's been years, like what, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they're different people
Yeah,
now. Hopefully they're
100%.
better.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, no hard feelings. Wish you all the best. I really hope you're in a better place. I really hope you're doing better. We're doing so much better.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And yeah, I feel like if those people were still in our lives,
We wouldn't be where we are
We
right now.
wouldn't.
I feel like our friendship wouldn't be where it
where
is
it
right now.
is right now.
Yeah.
Because all of these events, because all these friends, we had them in common. So we'd lose them, but we always had each other.
Yeah.
We'd lose this person, but we always had each other. Whoever, people would come and go from our lives.
But we stayed.
always had
Yeah.
each other. So
Always.
all of these, it made me and Sarah now. being roommates, being in the same friend groups, people leaving our lives, people coming in. Like at one point, we had a closer. There's one individual. We were very close to that one individual. Like obviously in friend groups, like some people are closer to some people are closer to other. But there was this specific friend group where me and Sarah commonly had an equal amount of relationship with that individual.
Yeah.
Equal.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Yeah,
start?
I remember. You start because I don't know which story you're going for. So.
The story I'm going for, it's not really a story because I really cannot talk about any of that. And I really hope that individual knows to not talk about it either, because it's a very like up story.
Yeah.
But like up cannot, like actually cannot.
Like, listen,
like
it was sad.
Actually cannot.
Okay, like the end of that friendship was sad, honestly, because they were a big part of our lives, honestly. Like we saw them like they were in me and Luna's faces every single day, like morning till night,
every single day. And that was the only person that was both close to me and Sarah.
Yeah.
Like at the same level. Like it was the three of us invincible.
100%.
Literally
and not
invincible.
just that, like how like me and Luna trust each other. We trusted them as much as we trusted each other.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like that's why it was
also,
like
the three of us were like equal on the same wavelength, on the same level, trust, everything.
100%.
So that friendship breakup to me and Sarah was the hardest because we went through it fully together.
Yeah.
It was like we were three stuck together and then one was ripped away from us. So it genuinely felt like a piece of us was ripped.
Yeah.
And like even a piece of our personality was ripped because our personality really developed with this person.
Yeah.
This person exposed us to a lot of things that we would never even think about thinking about.
100%.
So like I'm just so glad that I did not have to go through it alone. Like that I knew you were feeling exactly how I was feeling.
And that's what made me feel better, you know, because I knew that, I'm not going through this alone. Someone understands how I'm feeling.
Exactly.
Like every time I thought I was overreacting or that I shouldn't feel this way, I'd speak to Luna and she's feeling the exact same way. So I just felt so validated, you know.
Exactly.
So it was definitely really, really hard. But we got through it.
We got through it.
Bigger
and honestly,
better.
I am so grateful for that experience because that experience alone, like put everything aside, the roommates, the living, moving out, living together, Abu Dhabi, all that. That experience alone is what genuinely like sent a message to my brain and her brain.
Yeah.
You're never leaving.
Yeah,
this
100%.
is forever. Like this was the moment where we're like, khalas, like عن جد, you can never leave
100%,
after this.
100%.
Because no one else would understand it, and it's such a big part of who we are right now.
Guys, no, like honestly, as much as we tell you that it was always me and her at the end, it was always me and Luna at the end, no matter what we did.
Oh, yeah, I love you.
Me too. Shut up.
You're not allowed to leave. Guys, oh my god, after graduation, it was so hard.
Yeah, it was because we had to move out.
To different cities. Like, I'm so used to seeing this bitch every single day, and now I see her once a month.
Yeah, and it was the first time we lived without each other in 4 years.
In 4 years.
So it was a change.
It was a change.
It was a change, especially because we went back to living with our parents.
Exactly. Like, she went to live with her parents. I went to live with my parents in our parents' house in different cities, and we're used to being attached to the hip.
Yeah, and we started jobs and I don't know what, and it was so hectic.
Not gonna lie, that point was this close to affecting our friendship.
Yeah, it was.
It was on thin ice because, like, imagine going from being hip to hip with someone every single day for 4 years straight, and then, khalas, you're in a different city, you have a different life, and you see each other. Like, you have to book your meetings with you. Are you free next Wednesday at 3 o'clock?
When usually we're just so used to just going into the room and being like, yeah, like, get ready. We're leaving in 5 minutes. Like.
Literally.
5 minutes, more like 2
hours.
hours.
Do that to me, by the way. I just remembered.
Yeah.
Luna, we're leaving in 5 minutes. I am ready. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, but initially I would have told her 3 hours ago.
But yeah, obviously that shift, like that was the biggest change in our lives. So obviously it did create something like distance.
Yeah.
You know? Like in the beginning, distance grew the heart fonder, but then later it started being like, no, You're
Yeah.
not allowed to be that distant. You are the number one person in my life. Like, even if we get married, guys, by the way, if our future husbands are listening to this, you're not number one.
Yeah.
You're just not. I'm sorry.
Like, you're second.
You're second, 100%. So I was
100%.
like, in that moment, I'm like, shit, this is like, we either come out of this even stronger
Yeah, either make it or break it.
or khalas.
Yeah, 100%.
We're never going back.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that was the time where our friendship really, really took a hit, and we had to test it out and see what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
But
It was my first time
here we
also
are.
testing her, like friendship tests. You failed.
I'm here, aren't I?
Okay. So clearly we made it.
Clearly, we made it.
But this can never happen
Yeah, it
again.
can never happen
Like,
again,
I don't care.
honestly.
If you are planning to not see me for a year from now, tell me
In advance.
in advance.
Okay.
Like,
Deal.
just don't shock
I'll
me.
send you a Google Calendar invite. Okay.
We should have each other's Google calendars.
By the way,
What the hell? That would make everything so much
if you
easier.
share my Google Calendar, you'll see all the calendar for here,
Oh my god.
which can come in handy, yani.
If you see my calendar, you'll see I wake up at 3, I go to the gym at 5. I come back.
I can't believe we reached a point in our adulthood where
We go
we
to the
use
gym.
Google, no, where we use Google Calendar.
Oh, صح, yeah.
Like,
And Excel and Word.
I will never use Excel. Like,
I was forced to incorporate.
no, I will never use Excel. If you put a gun to my head, I will tell you I will never use Excel. Like, this is it.
Bro, we were never taught Excel. My boss literally had to like teach me for an hour. He had to take time out of his day to sit with me for an hour. Okay, if you press this button, this comes out. You press this button, this comes out. Like,
No, I refuse
that
to
was
learn Excel.
traumatizing because I'm like, I don't want to do this. I can't tell him I don't want to do this, but I don't want to do this.
Habibti, I refuse to learn Excel. Like,
I forgot everything he taught me. I'm sorry if you're
there is.
listening.
Why are you in 2024 still using Excel?
Excel,
Like,
literally.
I'm so sorry.
Or like Google Sheets, like the sheets. Like, why are you using Sheets? Be creative. Use Canva. Put like nice things, yani. Like,
Spoken like a true marketing major.
use Canva. Make it pretty. Why does it have to be in a list? Like,
Canva, if you see this, please sponsor.
sponsor us because the subscription is getting expensive,
Yeah,
guys.
honestly, like, come on.
What's going on?
What's going on? Like, we need to use it, but
Anyways, let's put our glasses on because right now we are in our cool girl era.
yeah, let's do this.
We are entering the end of this episode, so we're gonna head to the shout out segment.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the shout out segment is where you get to give someone that you appreciate a shout out regarding to the topic of the episode. So
Good.
in our case, someone you appreciated in all of these friend groups that we been through, someone that you want to give a shout out to, appreciate.
Okay, so I feel like because this was about our university and everything, I feel like the one person that stuck with me and Luna throughout all of university is Ahmad. So shout out Ahmad.
Shout out
Shout out
Ahmad. Usually, I don't give shout outs in the segment, only the guest, but both of us literally
Yeah, we agreed to shout out
big
Ahmad.
shout out Ahmad because guys, Ahmad is behind the camera.
Yeah, he's here.
Ahmad, like if we didn't have Ahmad,
We wouldn't have lived.
we wouldn't have lived. So
Ahmad.
we wouldn't have lived, like
Yeah,
genuinely.
100%.
Guys, he used to feed us because when we had no food in the
Guys,
house.
he helped us move. He helped us move out of the house, move into the house.
Yeah.
He when we didn't want to edit our videos for finals, he'd edit
He'd
them for
edit
us.
them for us.
He literally, before I even met this man, like before he became one of our best friends, he did my entire assignment. because my application on my laptop decided to so he literally did it for me at 4 a.m.
Literally.
So shout out Ahmad.
He watched me snot into a cat costume and cry.
Oh my god, I will never ever forget that. Never.
Guys, no, literally, he has seen
The worst.
The worst.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
has
know
seen the
how
worst.
he's still friends with us.
Yeah, he's seen the worst and he is still here, so real one.
So yeah, love you, Imad.
Love you, Ahmad.
Thank you, Sarah, for being on the first episode. This is Sarah's first episode in Luni Tunes. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This was amazing. I love
Really?
them.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun. I loved it so much.
That's the most important thing.
Can't wait for more.
So, guys, that's a wrap on today's episode with my bestie, roomie, sister, everything. We'll see you next week. No. We'll see you next week. Restarts, huh? Eh. So, guys, this is a wrap on today's episode. We will see you with more Looney Tunes next week. La, what the fuck? I said something before. Yeah, why am I saying next week? So, guys, this is a wrap on today's episode. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Sarah, again.
Thank you.
And Looney Tunes out! On top of all the mess, we had a cat. We had a cat. Let's talk about that. So, guys, my cats in Abu Dhabi, I have a boy cat and a girl cat. They have babies together. So, the first time they ever had a baby, like, we knew that they were, like, Caramel, the girl cat, was gonna get pregnant a lot, like, later. But the first baby, we're like, it's the first baby, it's precious, like, we want to keep it. But my dad was like, there's no way I'm keeping like 3 cats in the house. And then I don't know how I somehow convinced him that me and Sarah would take care of the cat.
We're capable of taking care of Taffy.
And that's when Taffy came. He was literally this
He was
small.
a ball.
He was a kitten when he came. And like, I don't know who we thought we were, like, all of our friends and like all of us, we were like aunts and uncles and mothers to Taffy. Like he was literally the child of the friend group.
He was a demon, but he was
a demon.
Yeah.
He wasn't well trained because I mean, like, we're 2 living alone in a house doing university and we have a cat. So like he would just run wild.